What's up, Andromeda? How's it going? Kind of thinking I might run a few blight maps, actually, just for fun. Get some pretty good bubblegum currency from these. And after a long day at work, it's a nice kind of passive thing to do. What's up, Dana? I figured out what was making my POV1 crash. In window mode, I need to select a standard resolution. I can't just resize the screen however I see fit. Interesting. You don't play like windowed borderless or windowed full screen, you play windowed. I don't think I've ever played windowed mode. I didn't mean to waste a portal on that. I meant to hit the wrong keybind. Let's move my portal there. Alright, let's give this a whirl, see what happens. Get a 5K screen, so I'm just playing when. Oh, geez, yeah, that's crazy. It's for writing code, I can see all the code. Gotcha. I have a pretty large monitor at home myself. It's not 5K. Slip, Leonardo, welcome back everybody. Let's head up here. Do fire, ice. Yeah. Looks like a new league will be a minions one. Or you think minions are the play for the next league? I mean, minions are typically pretty good every league. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the patch notes, I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready. I'm ready to get into it, you know? There is something like really nice about running blighted maps. It's pretty chill. Yeah, I have like things I like about PoE2 and things I hate about PoE2. I'm kind of like on the fence. I think the game just needs a lot of time to cook and they need a lot of time to develop it, but I see a lot of promise in PoE2. But if I have to compare it to like PoE1, PoE1 hands down is my game. It's my jam. So I'm really looking forward to Thursday and the patch reveal. The patch notes and the league reveal. It's like an actual expansion too, right? So there's going to be changes to the end game, probably new bosses. I'm really excited. What are the odds of me getting a pair of Stampede boots on my first blighted map here? Pretty crazy, right? Nobody's that lucky. Yeah, I'm multi-streaming Leonardo, so I'm on both YouTube and Twitch right now. Same username on Twitch. I'm gonna try to see about being around for I'd like to stream on Thursday for when they do the reveal and the patch notes and all that, but I might have work, so it just depends. I'm definitely going to be streaming Thursday, but I might not be streaming during the actual reveal. I might have to be at work. Hey man, I really love your stream and enjoy being part of your fan community. Would you mind adding me up on Discord? I have a Discord chest that you can join. I'm not sure what I will be playing in a new league, but it will be a melee. I might be following you. Yeah, if you like Cyclone, it's definitely a fun build. I always have a blast playing it. We'll see if it's still viable later this week, right? I tried Cyclone last week, but I messed it up, so I just re-rolled RF. Hey, I appreciate it, Leonardo. Yeah, I don't know if you tried my build last week, Dana, or if you're just coming across it now, but I try to make a pretty comprehensive POB for people to follow, at least for my build.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Thanks, iFizz, for the follow.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Thanks, Scouts, for the follow. Oh, you just YOLO'd your own POB? I mean, sometimes it's... Gotcha, Leo. I mean... The thing about Cyclone is... It can be pretty squishy, so... You can go, like... I don't know what you did for your Cyclone when you did it, but a lot of people favor the right side of the tree and they like to do Frenzy Charge stacking. And they go into something like Masterful Form to stack even more. But, yeah. I've tried building a lot of builds that have not worked out quite well, but this one just like kind of all the pieces came together pretty well. That was my issue, it was too squishy. Before I stopped playing Cyclone though, I put 10 brawler tattoos on my trees so I could just push everything around into corners. That's funny. It's really funny. Yeah, like, I got pretty lucky. I came across this roomies this morning before I went to work. I found a nameless seer in a map and they sold me the roomies. Once you get your roomies going on my build and you have the Enigmatic Defense Anointment and you go into Versatile Combatant, you can see, like, with my defense, when I pop my flask, I'm at almost 65-65 attack and spell block. So at this point, I feel relatively tanky in T16s. The only problem I have right now is I have, like, no chaos resistance, so I'm, like, tanky against everything with chaos resistance, and I have pretty decent flat armor at the moment. And then if all my flasks are going, I'm sitting at, like, 80%. So I'm at a point where, like, just doing T16 farms and regular bosses doesn't feel too bad. The one thing I've been working on is I'm trying to get more damage. So I'm trying to craft a better weapon. I got lucky and got this 6-link early on, but it's a really low Fizz DPS weapon. So I have this, like, 600 PDPS staff I made, but 6-linking it would be, like, the issue right now. If I can 6-link this weapon will carry me through everything. Until I would do like T17s and Ubers on this character. Like, I would use this to kill Maven and Uber Elder and then just like do juice T16 farms on this SSF character. And then I would try to craft like an 850 plus PTPS weapon to push into T17s and stuff. So yeah, you're playing that Lacerate Glad, right? So I've just been throwing fusing at this, hoping that I might actually 6-link this thing, but you know how it is. No bueno. Yeah, the hybrid roll sucks. The flat, I mean, it's a mid staff, right? This is like something that gets you through like T16s into boss farming, regular bosses at least. So I'm gonna basically try to 6-link this before I do my last 2 Void Stones. My goal is like tomorrow night or Thursday morning, try to finish up my last 2 Void Stones. I built an atlas for farming bosses, like boss maps, so I can get the frags, but I haven't run this yet. I've been just doing like some Blight and Ritual farms. I've had to work a lot this week, so I haven't had the time to kind of put into this character that I wanted. Like, worked 12 hours yesterday, and I worked 10 hours today, and I'm probably doing another 12-hour shift tomorrow. So I'm trying to get time in on this character before the patch notes drop, but it's a busy week for me. Yeah, I mean, for crafting, I threw Harvest at this until I got the 2 good prefixes and just crafted on the 3rd one. And it happened to roll at like a mid attack speed. Yeah, we're doing a lot of troubleshooting right now at work, and working with a lot of different teams and stuff on this IT project, so been working a lot of hours. It does mean that I'm going to end up probably having Friday off, because, you know, once I hit my 40 hours, once I build my 40 hours, I'm done for the week, so I'm probably going to have a 3-day weekend. But it's a lot of long shifts this week. I think I'm going to do one more light map here, just for fun. Still don't know about crafting too hard. Yeah, their combination stuff is pretty powerful, but you have to have a lot of good bases and a lot of good, you have to have a lot of good bases and like a lot of good rolls on them to try to meld them together. And there's like tons of posts on how to properly try to craft different items. Oh wait, I want to do a blighted map. What am I doing? Did I leave it in? I'm so tired. I left it in the stash, didn't I? Yeah, rip. It's fine. We'll run this other map and then we'll do this. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so my goal pretty much now is like get that staff 6 linked if possible, and then just finish out my last 2 void stones, and I'm probably done with this test character. You've done what a lot? I've been farming a lot of ore to send out ships on the side too. I'm out on Dis Andromeda. I'm on Twitch right now. Streaming on Twitch. I'm talking with other people in chat if it sounds kind of one-sided. Oh, left your blight map in the thing. Yeah. Anything I do dumb tonight I blame on just a lack of sleep. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night and I had a really long day. My brain's kind of like pudding right now. Yeah, I've been running Ritual too, hoping that like I get an Omen of Connection. Like, that'd be dope, right? Get an easy 6 link that way. I think if I get like an Omen of Connection or some guaranteed 6 link mechanic, I'm gonna try to still craft a better weapon. I'd like to get like a 650 to 700 would be even better. The Ritual is a little sketchy because I have like no chaos resistance, so it can get kind of scary. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty OP. It's not like yeah, it's not like super common, right? Obviously, so you can't like bank that you're gonna get like an omen of connections, but it is nice if it happens. So I'm just running YOLO rituals while I do this blight stuff, just on the off chance that it happens, because that would be pretty crazy, right? I've almost capped my chaos resistance, but my life is low. Your life is only 1.5k? It's crazy. I'm doing some lower maps trying to farm more gear. I've only been playing my test tune about an hour a day. Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I feel lucky if I get like 4 hours a day in right now. Because I just don't sleep, so I have a little bit of more like time. If I slept like a normal person, I probably wouldn't be getting as much time in right now, even with my work schedule. Hey, there we go. There's another map. Reason I'm running Blight, kind of like why I wanted to mess around with Heists, but I think just running Blight's going to be more time efficient this week. Maybe I get a Stampede Boots. Yeah, I have an eye condition that kind of prevents me from getting a lot of sleep. So I average about 4 to 5 hours a night. So I'm always like in a state of lethargy. And I have to drink a lot of caffeine in order to function throughout the day. I've been checking these guys just like kind of at random to see if they have anything interesting, but I've kind of stopped really engaging with mercenaries. I'm not using them anyways, so I just check their gear and their stash real quick and move on. Do they have a nice unique, or do they have something nice in their stash? Like fusings or something right now. I need some decent Eldritch currency so I can start. I want to try to hit Fortify on my chest so I can drop Fortify on my Link. Get a different support gem going. Be pretty dope. Any gem cutters, so I'll take that. I think I'll defer Immortal Hope. I wouldn't mind running an Uber at Siri at some point. before I'm done with this run. Lose 89 life per second. Hell nah. Have all these unique contracts to run at some point. Alright, let's do this blighted map. Okay. Stick our portal like down here or something. Alright. Excuse me. Okay, I think we're good over there for now. Let's put an Empower Tower here. That's... And you guys are all regular. Stick of minions right here. Up there. So I'd like to put an Empower there, Freeze there, put a Flame there. house. Alright, I think we're pretty short up here. Alright, now we just relax, collect our winnings. Yeah, it's super chill. Like, you just set everything up and kind of collect all your loot. It's kind of the reasons why I enjoy it. I'd be making a lot of money on trade right now. Dang. Yeah, trade is gonna be wild. It's gonna be actually wild. Kind of looking forward to it. I was like, man, maybe this league I'll go SSF, and then I saw async trade in PoE 2, and I was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. I can't pass on the first PoE 1 league to do async trade, I think. It's gonna be wild, yeah. You're gonna make like so much passive income just listing stuff, and not having to ever trade with people. It's gonna be fantastic. Alright, what are the chances I get my fortify hit? Never lucky. Garbage. I'm torn. I've been so excited for it, but everything mid-tier is going to be so cheap. Yeah, I think prices are going to be really low on... I can definitely agree with that. I think prices are going to be much lower this league. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more chaos circulating. I wouldn't be surprised if the price of divines go up even quicker in terms of how much chaos for divine, because there's going to be so much more currency in the economy. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I feel like a divine is going to get above 100 chaos super fast because there's just going to be so much currency floating around. I'm gonna do another one of these. These are fun. I have no idea. I'm like 90% sure I'm going trade. I have no idea what my farm strategy is going to be at the beginning either. I think patch notes are largely going to determine like what I'm going to farm. Like, it's too soon to tell like what I'm going to do.
New mycelium! Ugh, new roots! It's put out new mycelium!
Do I think async trade will cause a bigger rifts between the richest and poorest players, or exploits are discovered? I think like generally people that know how to price items are going to be just fine, and I think the rich will become a lot richer if, you know, they know what they're doing. Why can't I play Blight? I like Blight in Lab, so I might just take it casual and farm those out. Why can't you play Blight? I don't know what you mean. Can't play Blight. Oh, you're talking to Chaos. Gotcha, gotcha. Needs to be some towers right here. It's crazy that they're not spawning there.
It's branching exile.
Rip. Yeah, Blight's a super, like, chill game mode. It's a lot of fun, usually. Sorry that you have issues with it, dude.
New roots.
We're finally getting some towers here. I think I'll make this a freeze. And we'll put another flame here. Okay. I would just also check your graphics settings. Have you tried like turning everything off basically? I can see global illumination causing an issue. Maybe go to DX11 over DX12 or play around with the actual renderer. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if it would be like... I'm on DX12 right now, but maybe swapping this, maybe swapping the renderer, playing around with your settings here and turning stuff down.
Orb of alteration. Just use this piece of shit.
Oh yeah, if they don't nerf this build, Chaos, this is like my build. I'm definitely going to be playing this. My plan is on Thursday they'll do the reveal, and if the build is still good, I'm going to post an actual video on my YouTube channel, like a 3.27 update, and I'll go over my POV. I'll showcase this character that I played for a week in SSF. I'll showcase my character from 3.26. Give people a rundown if they're interested in playing it. But I 100% plan on League starting this as long as it's still viable at the end of the week. Yes, hey, I appreciate it, Chaos. Yeah, it's a pretty good build. I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I'm stockpiling a bunch of stuff because I'm going to send a big shipment off before I crash tonight, I think. If we get lucky. Alright, what do I want to do here? Got plenty of blight oils for now. Yeah, on my trade build in 3.26, I did everything I did. Obviously, Atlas progression as a league start, and then I segued into T17s, Uber bosses, and I have live stream VODs on my YouTube channel from a couple months ago showcasing all that. This is a private league character I made. I've been playing it for a few days, and the idea is just to show people, like, you know, you can do it in SSF. It doesn't require any, like, specific items, so it's, you know, it excels in trade, but you can even play it in SSF, and, you know, I've done my Atlas progression. I still got to do my last 2 Void Stones, but I've worked my way into T16s. I think I'm going to start farming up boss maps to actually, so I can get the frags I need to run my 2 Void Stones. So I think I'll do this for a little bit. I have some extra points here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do some mapping now for a little bit. Farm up some boss maps. That's the only thing I actually haven't done, Chaos, is I haven't tried pushing Delve with my build. I don't know how far you could actually get, but that is the one thing I haven't done. So this is destructive play, Maven Witness, and we're looking to generate conch maps, guardian maps, maybe some synthesis maps. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that it's probably going to be something Breach based on, you know, what everyone's speculating with the teaser. And I feel like this is a really strong build for Breach. You know, anything that has you running around in circles is a good time with Cyclone. So as long as they don't, destroy the build, I think it's gonna be a pretty good time. We did something similar, but nowhere near as good as yours in 3.6. Took to about 600 depth with no issues. Yeah, I feel like I could get pretty... I think I could get to at least 500 or 600 on this build. I might have to make like a few adjustments. Hey, it's my first T17. I feel like I'd have to make a few adjustments, but I think I could easily get to 500 or 600 on this. I would need, you know, it's pretty decent gear, but I'd be really surprised if my build gets nerfed. It's definitely not meta. I mean, it's popular amongst Cyclone enthusiasts, but it's not like a meta build. So, you know, there isn't a ton of people playing. Like, if we actually look, let's see how many characters. Let's see here. PoE.Ninja. So, let's do a little bit of research into how many people actually play Cyclone. Alright, so we're looking at Mercenaries League. Let's look at week 1. Okay. Now, you're going to see probably more people playing this at the beginning than probably later on. So Cyclone was 2% of all. So obviously Volcanic was the meta skill, right? Righteous Fire, Peaconk, Bama, Smite, you know, all of those were the top tier skills. Cyclone is pretty up there. It's like in the top 10. And of people playing Cyclone, the obvious choice is Slayer. Alright, so that's week 1. Let's go to like week 4. Okay. Let's see what's going on in week 4. Now, by week 4, Frost, or Forbidden Rite of Soul, became the obvious build of the league, right? In stacking ES. At this point, 5% of players are playing Cyclone. That's actually kind of more than I thought. And of those people playing Cyclone, your split was Oculus. Okay, so they're not actually playing my build, right? They're playing shit like Cyclone. Well, that's Champ there, but if you look at it, it's like probably like cast while channeling or cast on crit stuff. Oh, they're just doing a version of Frost with Cyclone. Okay, so yeah, we go to, you know, week 6. Okay, it says 6% of people are playing Cyclone, but once again, it's 40% Oculus, right? Only 13% of people actually playing Cyclone with Slayer. So once again, a lot of these builds, if we look at like this Hierophant here, right? He's doing Cyclone. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, he's in stacking. So he's playing, this is, yeah, they used it for cast. He's playing, what's his name's build? Connor. This is Connor's build. So he's playing Connor's build. So you don't have a lot of pure Fizz DPS Cyclone characters. It's just not something that you see. You see it like the first week or two of a league, you know? And then people move on to other stuff. So it's a great league starter. Not many people take the pure Fizz DPS Cyclone into the end game. Even though you can, it's just there's a lot of better stuff. I've never said that my build is the best end game build. I do think that my Cyclone build is probably the best Cyclone build to take into the end game if you want something that feels like, you know, relatively tanky. There's other Cyclone builds that do far more damage in the end game, but they're like a paper napkin. As soon as you get hit with something, you're dead. Yeah, my build is the best end game build. What's that, like, taken out of context, right? That's how that works. It's crazy, I got my first T17. At some point I would like to try to do one of these just to get the map slot. But I definitely need a better weapon before I think I can push into a T17. But we can start collecting them now, maybe run those in a few days. Man, I really don't like a lot of these tile sets, so we can do waste pool. Redefine it? Yeah. That's one way of saying it, right? Redefine it. Oh, baby, let's go. I love me Sentinel, one of my favorite league items. Favorite leagues, I should say. I like the red Sentinel as well, the ones that just buff a ton of enemies. So the biggest problem with my build pushing into T17s and Ubers is mitigating large hits. So while you stack really high block on my build, when you do take a hit, it's probably going to kill you. So the first unique I recommend that everybody gets, like the first big investment of divines on my build, is a Progenesis. So basically, once you make the best weapon that you can, like an 900 plus biz DPS staff, you should be looking to get a Progenesis, because the Progenesis, when you take that big hit, when your block misses, it'll stagger that big hit, for 4 seconds. Then after that, I recommend if you're gonna sink money into something, make a decent chest for like 20 to 40 divine that has like the mods on it that I recommend. That will free up points on the tree for you to put into other things, because it will solve your mana issues, it'll solve your stun issues, it'll help you with your damage with crit. And then after that, probably Mageblood, because Mageblood is OP on everything. But a Progenesis is gonna make, like, to be able to do T17s and Uber bosses, you need a really good weapon. To do T17s and Uber bosses on my build relatively comfortably, you need a Progenesis. Oh, I take that back. Before you buy a Progenesis, you want to get the Flame Flesh jewels so you can pick up the Gladiator Ascendancy. So basically, if I pull over my POB, right, this is the 95, my level 95 tree, and it doesn't have any of those expensive items, right? It doesn't have, none of the gear on here is really expensive. The most expensive thing on here would be crafting this staff right here. But like an Abyssus, a Stampede, this is like 1 or 2 divine. This is usually like 1 divine for a decent rolled one. So Storm Shroud, 6 to 10 divine depending on the market. This plus 2 jewels gives you your elemental ailment immunity. So you actually want to grab this first. But if we're talking like big investments for T17 and Ubers, the first thing you want to get is the Forbidden Flame and Flesh jewels. I bought these for like 40 something divine, and then they just increase in price as the league goes on. But this gives you the Gladiator Ascendancy more than skill, and this makes it so that our block goes up to almost 90%. So that's the first thing you want. Once you get that, then you want to get a Progenesis to stagger the big hits when you don't block. So this plus these 2 jewels really make the build feel tanky. Once you get that, you've already got your Storm Shroud for elemental ailment immunity. The next big item is probably crafting the decent chest, like I said. It has the mana cost reduction. It has the ignore stuns while you're using your Cyclone in the chest. And then it has like, the apply additional curse and the attack crit. This just gives you a ton of damage, frees up a ton of stuff on the tree. Once you get all that shit squared away, it's probably time to get a Mageblood. But yeah, just to do like T-17s and Uber bosses, I'd say a Storm Shroud, a really good weapon. And then if you want to survive and not have like a terrible time doing that stuff, depending on the mods you roll on those T-17 maps, a Bergenesis is gonna make a world of difference. Yeah, like if like my build gets destroyed, I'll do a video kind of talking about what broke the build, and I'll kind of like maybe do a a recap on how my thoughts on the build and what I enjoyed about it, and then I might in that video talk about some ideas for what I will be playing, because if they break my build, I'll look at the patch notes and I'll make a new build before leagues start, something that I want to do. I'll come up with something. So the video would be like in that vein. If the build is fine, then I'm going to release a video talking about the build and showcasing it like I planned, like I already talked about. But yeah, I would go over why the build got nerfed and like why I don't recommend playing it anymore and etc. But it just like, it's one of those things where I don't think anything in the build it's really gonna, I'm not afraid of them really nerfing anything about my build. I don't think like there's any tech that my build uses or anything that I think like they could nerf the gladiator ascendancy, but not a lot of people were playing that anyways. So there's like if you look at the components of my build, not a lot of people are doing any of the stuff that my build is comprised of. So that's why I'm just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff I think they need to fix in this game before they nerf components of my build, right? Like Trickster is a problem, ES stacking is a problem, int stacking and strength stacking is a problem. There's a lot of other shit that dominates the meta in the mid to late end game that is like nothing to do with my build. Like none of the components of my build do any of that. So that's why I'm just kind of like, I don't think I have really anything to worry about. But they could do like a major overhaul of the game in a way that like no one's really predicting, and it could inadvertently have an effect. I'm kind of hoping that they end up buffing like life stuff, which then in a way ends up buffing the build, right? Because we're a life-based build, we're not hybrid, we're not ES. And I think right now the game is so against life and hybrid builds. Like basically if you're not stacking ES in the end game, you're kind of playing PoE wrong, and that's both in PoE 1 and PoE 2. So I would like to see a world in which life builds get some love, but who knows, ES has dominated this game for so long, it's almost impossible to think of playing PoE without the meta being stacking 20k energy shield. These bosses are ridiculous, dude. Alright, I'm gonna reset the valve. I don't know what's going on with this boss. Is it on consecrated ground? That's probably what's going on. Yeah, but they said that, but do they mean like, when they say that, the only thing I can think of is they're getting away from like ES stacking and stuff like that, because balancing the game would be getting it away from what's dominated the end game for so long, and that's ES stacking, Trickster, int stacking, that kind of stuff. There hasn't been a reality in which playing a life-based melee build has been meta for so long. I can't even remember the last time like pure life builds were the meta in this game. I think Assassin's gonna get a complete rework. I wouldn't be surprised if Assassin and Saboteur get reworked, because they're both like really crappy ascendancies right now. So I could see those getting reworked for sure.
Approach, challenger.
I always get the awakened gems that I don't need, you know? It's really sad. Got some nice map drops there, though. Oh man, I mean, there's like different ways. You can just save up fusings. I just kind of spend fusings as I get them. I like to do ritual for maybe Omen of Connection, and then I think sending ships is probably the best way. So like right now I'm sending ships to a specific port to try to get a 6-link chest for my Cyclone setup. So I think probably shipments are probably the best way to get good 6 links on decent bases. But, you know. Apparently Legion also, is what I've read, is good at spitting out some 6 links, but I'm not farming Legion at the moment, so... Ooh, yeah. Diversity of mobs can be pretty scary. Pretty scary. Alright. See if I can separate some of these bros. Yeah, because they're like super tanky and... Oh yeah, it's this one guy is like terrifying. Not this one, but the other dude that's like flying around him. Yeah, this guy right here. It's the unique. Yeah, I summoned like the devil. It depends. Like day one I go pretty hard. I'm planning on... If I work day on launch, it's gonna be like just for a few hours in the morning, and I typically take a nap before the league launch, so I'm pretty fresh. So usually day one, my goal is to finish the campaign and to get into maps, and then by day two on actual league, I like to be in red maps, farming T16s. So I go pretty hard the first 2 days. This is terrifying. Definitely bit off more than I can chew right now. Holy gosh. It's mostly the scary unique dude. Yeah, the unique guy is just chunking me. Alright, I think I'm just gonna skip those guys. I did a campaign run on this character. Keep in mind it was like SSF, so I couldn't trade or grab anything along the way, and it was like right around 7 hours. I keep trying to get my campaign done in 6 hours. That's like would be a personal best for me, but I end up it's like 7 hours is my average. I feel a little bad. I'd like to get it down to 6. I'm just not like super fast. You know, I kind of like to take my time to a degree and chill. And with my particular build, I play Sunder and make the swap to my Cyclone setup in Act 3, and just the swap and getting everything set up takes about like 10 or 15 minutes during the leveling process to, once I have all the pieces, to swap everything over and change my passives and all that kind of stuff. I feel like 7 hours isn't bad. I feel like it's not the best, but it's not the worst, you know? I feel like it's definitely quicker than the average PoE player. I definitely level faster than the average PoE player. If my build doesn't get nerfed, I am planning next weekend to just create a new private league, and I'm just going to test running like Act 1 and 2 over and over. Because like usually my slowest time is those first few acts. So I generally run like 40 to 45 minutes for the first 2 or 3 acts. If I can get those down to like 30 minutes, that would shave almost an hour off on my leveling time. So I think my focus is going to be very hyper efficiently getting through that. Yeah, I think 8 to 10 sounds about right. So if I can get acts 1, 2, and 3 down to like 30 minutes, like if I could be in act 4 under 2 hours, and if I could be done with act 5 2.5 hours, I'd feel really good about that. Like being done with act 5 between 2.5 to 3 hours would be really good for me.
My gents and armor, what work are you? Follow me then. More gents for me then.
Oh, bro, there's no way. Yeah, like it's insane to me that people do that. I think I didn't get my 2 void stones on this specific character until day 3, but like, you know, I don't. There's a whole strategy for how you progress your atlas super quick and how you speed up the tiers of maps and everything. I don't know how to do any of that. And I'm also like, I have OCD. I like to run every map of each tier before I progress to the next. So I try to do all T2 maps that I can before I do T3 and all T3 before T4. I know that's not like the super efficient way to do it, but like it's like my OCD. I like to complete everything before I move on to the next tier. So I know that's not the fast way of doing it, but it's how I like to map. I feel like as long as I'm in like red maps by day 2, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I played the Gauntlet. I always die in Act 9. No matter what I do, I die on the Act 9 boss. I can never get past it. I think the Act 9 boss is ridiculously hard. Like, it's actually way too hard even for Gauntlet, but that's the Gauntlet, right? Yeah, I just don't have really good Twitch reflexes. I'm like almost 40, so like there's just too much shit going on in the Act 9 boss for me, personally. Like, it gets to a point where I just like, you know, I'm pretty good at avoiding a lot of stuff in this game, but like when there's just that much stuff going on, it's like sensory overload. It's why I'm not good at doing X-Arc, the ball phase. I just don't have the ability to process that anymore. Maybe if I was like 20 years younger, but I'm getting old, man. Got innocence. This is crazy. Alright, we probably should kill these other bosses first. Ooh, we got a synthesis map, nice. Cyclone, Snake, and Peacock, all 3 died. I'm right there with you. I'm 36. Yeah, see, you understand. All phase and Maven memory game get me way more than I would like to admit. Yeah. Maven, like the Maven memory, I'm not too terrible at, but definitely ball phase. Ball phase on X-Arc is like I just can't do it. not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Like, I can't do it. I usually just let myself die and then just time out the rest of the ball phase. Until I get strong enough to just kill him before that. What in the world was that nonsense? Ooh, spicy. I want to play trade so badly, but I love racing. I'm always frustrated by the thought of groups working together to exploit the market. I need to do a decision matrix after the real drops. I mean, I think Empyrean said it once that they'd actually be faster if they didn't play in group together. But yeah, I mean, if you wanna, if your goal is to race, then there's obviously specific builds to level with, and then segue into other stuff. Like there's a specific meta for that if you're trying to get through the campaign quicker than everybody else. But like, that's something that I'll be practicing this coming weekend, is like leveling a character through the first 2 acts and getting my muscle memory down so that when I enter a town, I know exactly what vendor I'm going to, what gems I'm picking up, you know, what to prioritize. A lot of the first few acts in terms of efficiency is how quickly do you navigate the towns and do the stuff you gotta do before you run back out to do zones and stuff. Like when it comes time to get this gem upgrade and slot it in, like how quickly do you get the gem from the vendor? How quickly can you search a vendor? Gotcha. I feel that way like when I'm playing hardcore. When I play hardcore, I like to compare myself. I think like I was playing hardcore Ruthless and I got close to being the top 10 of an ascendancy, so I thought that was fun. I did that like in 3.26 and I was like in the top, I was in the top, I think almost the top 5 was what it was actually. I was almost in the top 5 chieftains on hardcore Ruthless, solo self-bound, hardcore solo self-bound Ruthless. So I thought that was fun. No, I was playing Juggernaut, not Chieftain. I was doing an EQ bleed build. Ooh. This guy hurts. Yeah. No. Man, the tiredness from the day is hitting me now. Alright, got that.
Drink not from God. The touch of God.
Just the useless piece of shit.
The Empire awaits you with open jaws.
Hey, thanks, Godok, for the follow. Much appreciated.
The Empire lives on, and so do its
Oh wow,
most loyal
thanks for the prime,
servants.
Chaotic. It's crazy, thank you. Oh, it's T11, I don't want to run that. Hey, thanks, I appreciate it. It's crazy. Goal Soul Eater. Alright, I gotta try to get that shrine. There it is. These guys were just like not wanting to die. Starting to see more streamers starting to practice. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I typically do, I've done this the last few leagues. I do a 1-week SSF private league where I just play a character all the way through, as if it would be like a league start in a very restricted way. and then the weekend before, like so in this coming weekend, I start to just practice like my leveling through the campaign, really focusing on the early acts. Yeah, I follow a couple streamers. I like it depends on like what I'm watching. So oh gosh. I like Ziz. I like Pox. Those are probably the ones I primarily watch. I also like Steel is also fun to watch. I watch Ben for the competitive gameplay because he's, you know, the best PoE player, so I watch him. I also like On My Exile if I'm gonna watch like more the competitive side of PoE. Karn is good for melee stuff. So is Alk. I like Rax too. Rax is kind of funny because he's like new to PoE. So he kind of like gives me like a, you know, a lot of the streamers I watch have been playing for years like myself. Rax kind of gives you that like fresh to the game vibe. Even though he's played for a few leagues now, he's still like new, you know what I mean? So it's fun to watch him because he's still kind of figuring things out. I also like his Diablo content. Although D4 is in a pretty sad spot right now. Yeah, he's been pretty good at like getting through the campaign. But the thing with Rax is he plays like really meta builds, right? That are good at that. So like my build, you know, in the hands of a much better player, someone could level a lot quicker than me. But my build is never going to be as fast as a meta build that can get through the campaign a lot faster. So if I get really good, I'd be like surprised if I could do the campaign in 5.5 to 6 hours. Like be like me as a personal best. But if I was playing like some of those meta builds that just like blast through everything, it'd be, you know, a lot quicker for me. Cyclone is like not bad for leveling, it's just not super fast, you know, so. But also Jung did it in Farisha in like 3 hours or something, but once again, that's Jung, so. And then I watch like some other streamers that aren't necessarily PoE content creators, so like I like I'm blanking right now. I like Crip. Crip plays PoE, but he's more of like a Hearthstone and that kind of stuff. But I've been watching Crip since like 2009. Oh, how could I forget? Yeah, I've probably been subbed to him the longest out of any of them. I'm a big Mathel fan. I like Mathel. I like his build, his creativity with builds. So I watch Mathel a lot. I've been subbed to him for like 5 or 6 years now. Or almost 5 years, something like that. It's a lot. My second favorite skill build. I like minion builds. I played minion builds for the longest time, so I like that. I used to like, so before I kind of like, this build's been my most successful build in terms of enjoyability and just how this build has like been my most successful build because I can play it in SSF and it excels. I can play it in trade and excels. It does all content depending on investment. But I've made a lot of builds over the years prior to this, trying things out. I'd say like my favorite minion build, peak minion build, was skeletal mages when they were really good. And they didn't require like some of the tech you need now to make them decent. I really enjoyed like playing skeletal mage. I played skelly mages for like several leagues in between like 3.12 and 3.18 or something. I'm also a big fan of Blade Vortex, which shouldn't be surprising because it's very similar to Cyclone. I did some pretty like dumb builds. Let's see. I can pull up my YouTube. I actually made a Soul Rend build that I really liked several leagues ago. Let me find that. So I made this build in 3.23 that I really enjoyed. And this was basically, it was all built around using the MTX for cats. Yeah, I played Bleed Glad. I played like Spectral Shield, or I played like shield skills with Bleed, and but yeah, this was basically like just summon a bunch of cats and do poison damage and chaos damage, and I had a lot of fun playing this build actually. And I've done soul rests like the staff with, you know, channeling with the Cyclone to summon them. That was a lot of fun too with phantasms. Yeah. So this was a fun build I did a couple years ago actually. And then I did another build that I kind of really enjoyed was I made like Frostblink mines back in. I made a Frostblink miner Saboteur back when Saboteur I guess was good, and this is back when I would like try different builds and I'd showcase all content. So I'm doing like Eater Worlds here. I do like, you know, Syrian Exarch, Maven. But let me see like a map. So this was like me mapping with the Frostblink mines. So you'd throw the mines out and they would teleport around because they use Frostblink. This was a lot of fun too. Yeah, this is a dope build. What else? So I had fun playing those. I've kind of done an Arc Ignite Elementalist like every league that I've been doing Cyclone. So this is probably like my second favorite. I just really like the idea of like using Arc as a delivery system for Ignite. So this was from 3.25. This was like showing the build in white maps with like really terrible gear. I think in this clip I'm showcasing that I have just 4 links. I don't even have a 5 link or 6 link. And then I showed the tree and then I did a test map just to show people what the build would be like at a really low power level. So basically you use Val Arc and it just chains across the screen and you know, ignites everything. So you build up your Val Ignite and then you pop it like that and it blows up the screen. So that's in a white map, and then once you have some better gear, this was like doing a T16. I struggle with this build to scale the damage in the end game. It's really hard. Ignite is really hard for scaling damage. But for like mapping and doing T16s, it's not that bad. Oh yeah, this game is crazy in terms of build diversity. I did a meme build back in I've just done crazy shit. This was a fun build. This was body swap minions. So I used the minions that resummon what do they call it? The marionettes, and body swap. And basically this is like flicker. Like you just YOLO send it. And I just basically teleport around and explode on everything. This was a fun build, but I got a little kind of motion sickness playing this because it's like flicker. It jerks you around the screen a lot. And it's not the fastest thing because like you kind of go backwards and sideways and up and down. It kind of teleports you in random directions as you're fighting stuff, but it was like a fun meme build to do. And then this was also, this wasn't, and really this was only good for mapping, but I did a cast while channeling falling zombie build, because when they made the gem with the zombies that fall, I was like, oh, I gotta try this. This was Cyclone, cast while channeling, and then zombies would fall and just kill everything. So the zombies fall down, and then their fall damage kills everything on the screen. And then the Cyclone's just, you know, channeling the zombies to fall. So talking about minion builds, this was a fun little minion build. So I did a lot of build. I tried out a lot of different build ideas, like in 3.23 and 3.24, and then eventually Cyclone. I made the Cyclone build, and that's just been, it's just been so good over the last year and a half that I've just kind of stuck with the Cyclone. But I tried out a bunch of different stuff prior to that. Cyclone is my jam. That's where I've been living in Cyclone for the last year and a half, so. So I started playing action RPGs with D3. D3 was like my entry into action RPGs, and Whirlwind Barb was like my favorite build. To this day, like whenever they do a new season of D3, I'll still go play it for 2 or 3 days and play Whirlwind Barb. I just really enjoy it. So Cyclone to me is like a throwback to, you know, my favorite D3 build. Like, one of the things that makes me really sad is that I don't think this is ever going to be in PoE 2. I don't think they want a build like this in PoE 2. And so I don't think I'm going to enjoy PoE 2 as much as I'd like. Because, you know, I can't play Cyclone. I find other things to play that are fun, but it's just not the same. It doesn't hit the same. I don't know if, are you familiar with Whirling Slash in PoE 2? I did find something that was, and they tried nerfing it in .3, but I was able to fix it. So I tried to create a Cyclone build in PoE 2, and this is what I was able to come up with. So I did some live stream testing with it. So this was basically, if you're gonna play Cyclone and PoE 2, this is the closest I got to it. So this is like from a few weeks ago when I was playing PoE 2 with their new league. So it's kind of like Cyclone. Yeah, I basically made Cyclone. And not only did I make Cyclone, but it's a one button build in PoE 2. Like, I'm doing like high maps right now, or high waystones, and it's just you hold down one button and kill everything. The funny thing was, like, they tried nerfing this mid-league, which is very unusual for GGG. So they actually tried nerfing this, and I was able to fix it and keep it going. So I was like, yeah, you can play Cyclone in PoE 2. It's not anywhere near as good as what Cyclone feels like in PoE 1. It is janky. It's not as smooth to play. And it doesn't do this kind of damage, but I mean, you can see right here, it's doable. So, and I was doing like, you know, pretty high waystones with it. But eventually, I just kind of lost interest in PoE 2 because, I don't know, I think that the end game just needs some more love. I just got kind of bored playing, so there was just wasn't enough variety of things to do. I just lost some interest. Yeah, it needs time. But, I mean, the last league they just did, Point 3, was the best version of PoE 2 so far. So, like, I have faith, like, in another year or so, it's going to be in a really good spot. They just need time to develop it, you know? Like, it's... The reason why PoE feels so good is it's got, like, almost 15 years of development time, right? So it's... They've had a lot of time to really make PoE 1 as great as it is, so... That's all PoE 2 needs, is just a lot of testing and a lot of time for it to cook. But I think at some point it's going to be solid. I just think that's probably sometime next year, like a year from now. I think they need a few leagues to figure some stuff out. The biggest problem in PoE 2 is, we were kind of talking about this in, oh, this dude's a Soul Eater. The biggest problem with PoE 2, and it's more personified in PoE 2 than PoE 1, is the discrepancy between life and ES builds. So like in PoE 1, you can play my build and you can do all content. You know, if you invest enough currency into it, you can do all content. You know, I'm not going to tell you that doing T17s on my build is going to be cheap. You got to get a lot of niche items and spend some divines, but you can do it. However, for the same amount of currency, you can make an ES trickster playing Frost or something else and just like obliterate the game with 25k ES or whatever. So like the discrepancy between life and ES exists in PoE 1, but life builds are still viable. Hybrid builds are still viable. It's not the case in PoE 2. In PoE 2, the only thing you can play, the only thing you can play in the end game and have any success is evasion ES. It's got to be ES stacking and it's got to be evasion. If you play anything else, you're actually making it unplayable for yourself. And like, so fixing life in PoE 2 is a huge problem they have to solve right now, because anything that's a pure life build feels actually terrible in the end game in PoE 2. Like it feels awful. So they have to fix that. Like, and there's like things you can do on melee builds and like on the or sorry, the left side of the tree. But like it needs a lot of love, you know? Like, I don't know. The disproportionate balance between life and ES builds and PoE 2 just feels staggering. And I really thought they were going to address that in this current league of PoE 2, and they didn't. So I'm like kind of mind blown that that didn't get addressed. Yeah, we'll see. I'm really interested in what the reveal is going to be in 2 days. I might be making a whole new build if this gets nerfed, so we'll see. I've been playing this build for like a year and a half, and I've had a ton of fun with it, and I've evolved it a lot and perfected it, and there's still a lot I want to do with it, so I'm hoping it doesn't get destroyed. But if for some reason this build gets bricked in 2 days, I'm going to have a week to figure out something I want to play. So, but whatever I play, it's going to be, it won't be meta. So, I do take pride in not playing meta builds and trying to do as much of the game as I can. Not doing it. Although I feel like Cyclone is like near meta. Like I don't think it's fully off meta. I think Cyclone on League Start is actually kind of meta. And I think a pure Fizz Cyclone mid and late game is where it becomes off meta. But yeah. Hey, no problem, Chaotic. Yeah, I don't think I'll be streaming Thursday during the reveal because I'm probably going to be at work, but I will be posting a video Thursday night or Friday. Either way, depending, you know, no matter how it goes, I'll be posting a video sometime by the end of Friday about everything. And I'll be streaming throughout the week, just probably later in the day. But thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the sub. I really appreciate that. And yeah. Have a good night. I do like these these lost ship chests. They're kind of fun, like gambling. Get some fun stuff. All right. Alright, I think I'm gonna convert these jewelers to fusings. I'm gonna YOLO roll the staff, and then I think I'm probably gonna crash tonight. I'm pretty tired. We got 39 shots at a 6 link. Is this gonna happen? The fortunes say no. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. Probably won't be streaming tomorrow because I got a late, long day tomorrow, but I will be streaming Thursday. Probably not during the reveal, but I'll be on sometime shortly after the reveal. I will be playing this character in my free time throughout the rest of the week. Because I still want to showcase at least this SSF character. You know, if I do a 3.27 build video update, if the build's so good, I'll show off this guy as a 1 week SSF league start character. So I'm still going to put some more work into it, see if I can farm up the frags, get the last void stones, and do some stuff. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Catch you all later.